Today I'm hiking down. As you can see, it's the first time that I'm hiking down, or for a really long time it's the first time when I'm hiking down. But of course I will have to go up. Just a moment, I lost something. And here is why I'm hiking down. The temperatures are a little high for this period in my area, and because of this the snow was melted away almost from all the mountains. Here I'm in a really deep valley and really narrow valley where the sun rarely shines, and that is why there is still snow here. But as you can see around me, the forest, it's not that interesting to photograph. There is no snow on the trees, and that makes it look not that interesting. However, there's a subject right down at the bottom of the valley that I think could be really interesting at this particular moment. We are talking about the waterfall, and I decided to come here because of this particular reason. The snow is melting, and because of that I thought that the volume of the water would be increased and the waterfall would be much more spectacular. Now I don't know what to expect when I'm going down. There is a chance to have a veil of ice in the front of the water. Before I begin photographing this waterfall, I will take a moment just to warm up and to kind of look around and see what I have to do here. What would be the best shot? I mean, just arriving at a place and just start shooting without thinking, it's not always a really good idea. Sometimes you have to do this because the light is going away really fast, but in this moment I have nothing to hurry for, so I can take my time and I can plan the shot and I can think over and I can start visualizing what I want to achieve. But before that, tea time. This is a small tip when you are going to photograph during winter near water. Whenever you see a tree like this, where the branches go through the snow, it's usually an area without ice. If you want, for example, to cut a hole in the ice and to preserve it, not to freeze again, you stick leaves or branches or pine tree branches, whatever, you stick something in it and it will kind of prevent from, or it will freeze slowly. That is why I need to be extra careful in that area over there. This is the place where last year I went through the ice and was completely wet, so I don't want to do that again. So I'll finish my tea and start working. So I decided to photograph this waterfall in a panoramic way. The main reason for that is because I have to be really close to go beyond this fallen tree that is between me and the waterfall. So I need to be closer to the waterfall, but because I'm closer, I can't capture the entire scenery where it is. And I think it's a shame not to present this entire place much better. So that is why I will use my 24 to 105mm lens. I will shoot the panorama with the camera in portrait mode. And a few things that I'm careful when I'm shooting at, for example, 24mm, I don't have a panoramic head, so I have to rely mostly on software to stitch the panorama together. But what I'm doing, of course, I'm making sure that I have only one focus. This means I focus right in the center, right on the main subject, on the main area of the panorama. Then I switch the lens to manual focus. This way I make sure that I don't have different perspectives, because when you focus on different planes, you have different perspectives. Now, another thing that I look at is perspective distortion. If you have a really big perspective distortion, and this usually happens when you are using really ultra wide lenses with really close objects, then you will have a really big problem stitching the panorama, because it will be almost impossible to do this, because for example, in one shot the object will look like this, and in the other will look like this, because the perspective deformation of an ultra wide. That is why I'm trying to keep it from at least 20 to 24 millimeters up. Usually I take panoramas with longer lenses. I really like that because it eliminates a lot of problems. But in this situation, I really want to capture this entire beautiful place, and I will try to do it like this at 24 millimeter. So other than that, I also need to be extra careful with the polarizer. In many situations, especially if you have sky and the panorama is really wide, there will be areas where the polarizer will work and areas where the polarizer will not work. And this will create problems. And if you have this kind of a situation, then don't use the polarizer at all. Now, in this case, I have water, and from what I've checked, the polarizer works on the entire surface of the water and of the panorama. Now, while I was photographing this waterfall, I've noticed a really beautiful detail, and I will take you there to show it to you. But I wanted first to switch lenses, so I will use this 70 to 200 millimeter lens, because I want to capture the detail closer. So let's show you what I'm talking about, and then you will see the photo. And I have to be again extra careful, because the ice is really thin over here. These ice shapes that look so interesting and so abstract, even though I said it before, I don't consider nature to be abstract, no matter how you capture it. After I made the panorama with this waterfall, before I leave, I think it's worth trying to do a panorama of this entire place where the water goes, because it looks really good. It has that feeling of a story, because right over here I have the small creek, the small river, the small whatever you want to call it. It's up, and then it goes down, and the valley kind of becomes wider. And I think that capturing all this with a really interesting tree that I have over here that is covered, that has its branches covered in moss, I think it will look great. And I need to take the shot to be absolutely sure. managed to reach the next waterfall, and for a moment I thought that this will not be possible because there was a boulder that I had to climb. It's not that big, it's about 2.5, maximum 3 meters. In the end, everything went well, and as you can see, we are here and we're shooting this next waterfall. Again, I'm going for a panoramic shot because again, I'm thinking that this way I'll be able to capture the mood in a much more complete way, if you want that, rather than doing one single shot and rely only on that. This was it for today, and I really hope that you liked this vlog and that you found the information useful. Now, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure to click the bell notification icon to be notified whenever I do a new upload. And if you are already subscribed, thanks for watching, thanks for following me, for sharing my videos, and for all of you, until next time, keep on photographing. It's the only way you can get better. Bye bye.